Dearest, what news? Stefan did not have to bear that burden for us. We should have been the ones to tell the Sephiran Council directly. Be that as it may, I don't want it to appear as though we're avoiding the Sephiran people. What was the Council's decision? Not angry? What do you mean they're not angry? If your people were suffering the same way ours were, then why were you not told right away? So, all along, the downturn of your kingdom's economy, the misfortune that repeatedly befell your family, that was all due to this imbalance. A side effect of magic being siphoned off. How odd. I didn't expect the positive effects to extend to Saphira. But you do not seem relieved. What is wrong? No, do not keep things from me. I can bear it. Whatever it is, we'll bear it together. What is it? Your uncle. Yes, I was aware that he carries the dragon magic. It is rare for 2 children in one family to carry it, but not unheard of. Why? I see. And he seeks to overthrow you because you gave up the Northern Dragon's future. How large a following has he amassed exactly? Do not fear, my love. Once we have faced the music here, then we can go back and begin working to reunite those factions. We will never be able to heal the wound completely, but if what your council says is true, most of your people will be grateful to you for restoring their livelihoods. That will count for more than you think. And Ambrose has shared several petitions from the territories bordering Saphira. We may be able to gain a stronghold there too. At the very least, he cannot turn more dragons to fight his cause. We have the upper hand, and we can drive them out if we must. Even if Zateron decides to take my crown, Saphira has announced its loyalty. We will make our home there if we must, but I don't think that will be necessary. 2 reasons. For one, the council is in a forgiving mood. They've permanently granted Lady Celeste a seat, regardless of her supporting her father in the past. Secondly, as queen, it's my duty to make difficult decisions. It's very clear now that this choice resulted in the least amount of bloodshed. Yes, the dragons are very vocal, and they have every right to be, but I have faith in my people. They will make the right decision, and we will abide by it. You mean what we talked about last night? No, not yet. I thought it best to wait for the council's decision before proceeding with that. I hope so too, but it's best not to mention it just yet.
Your Majesty? They're ready for you.
You've been in there the whole time?
Yes. Lady Celeste and Ambrose thought it would be important for me to experience a council meeting.
An excellent idea. Please lead the way.
Your Majesty, the Council has discussed the situation at length and has reached a decision. I have been nominated to relay that decision to you.
Very well.
We have decided that you shall remain our queen. We recognize that while you've dealt a blow to dragonkind, you've done it in the interest of all of your people. To have done the opposite would have been a betrayal. Therefore, we accept that your sacrifice was made in good faith and had an overall positive impact on the kingdom. Even now, our refugee camps are emptying, and citizens are returning to their villages. We will oversee the effort to rebuild, and I hope that we have your support.
Of course you do. We are grateful. So grateful. Now that the war is over, may I also hope that we can establish our formal alliance with Saphira, as is customary in unions such as ours.
Yes, our kingdom has only ever flourished from the tandem reign that is shared during a royal marriage. We hold every hope that this will continue.
This all sounds too good to be true. Surely there is some restriction, some punishment the council has determined to be necessary.
There is. We've decided that more decisions in the kingdom should be put to a vote, rather than unilaterally guided by a monarch. This is not due to your choice or your sacrifice, but because of the many disagreements that led to the imbalance in the first place. Therefore, fewer items will be in the hands of the monarchy, and will instead be decided here in the council room. You, of course, will be granted a seat, but your voice will be heard in turn with others. We will also add 2 more delegates from the common people.
I understand. That sounds like a good idea.
Furthermore, the Griffins will not let you take this blow alone. Your kind sacrificed everything to restore balance, even though we were also at fault for the chaos. Perhaps even more so. I swear to you, the next time a sacrifice must be made, it is the Griffins who will be bound to give up our power. Whether it be tomorrow or 100 years from now, we will answer the call.
It will mean the end of your kind. It will mean eventual extinction.
Then perhaps other shifter clans will remember our mistakes and build a better future. And on the topic of the future, there is one more thing. The matter of your heir.
We suspected this was coming. Restoring faith in the monarchy and giving the people a bright future could be helped along if we held to Zateron tradition and adopted a child.
We think so too. Traditionally, you'd be permitted to choose a child of your own without hindrance, but given the political tensions, we believe it would be best if the council officially endorsed your choice.
We have actually given this some thought. We were discussing this just last night, and we thought that we might adopt a grown child. It has been done before, after all.
I see where you're going with this. We have also had similar discussions, and I think that could be just the solution we need. Have you spoken to the child?
Not yet. We wanted to wait for this meeting before proceeding.
Then I believe I speak for the council when I say your choice is approved, if the child agrees.
Then we will speak to them and let you know soon. Is there anything else?
Only for you to lay forth any matters that we should discuss in our next council meeting.
We would like to immediately offer aid to Saphira. My spouse's claim to their throne was hard to win back, and we seek to restore peace there as we've done here. There is a particular threat from a branch of the family who carries the dragon blood and plans to overthrow the current rule.
Understood. We will discuss amongst ourselves and vote on a solution later this week. For now, though, let's adjourn. And for what it's worth, I would have done the same in your shoes.
Thank you for your support, Celeste. It means everything. I didn't expect that either. In truth, no. I know I should be disappointed, and perhaps I'm a little struck by just how much change will occur during my reign, but I've long thought that the people should have more power. Shifting many decisions to a council vote is an effective way to move in that direction. I only fear that I may come a bit redundant. As always, you are correct. Our experience will still be useful, and we have a lot of work to do. And, in truth, this will allow us to be emissaries to our own countries. It has been over 120 years since a marriage was in effect between Saphira and Zateron, and as Lady Celeste said, a tandem rule has always proven to be a boon to both countries involved. Advances in magic, science, and politics always spike during such an alliance, and the impact on the arts is unrivaled. It does affect much positive change, but it's not commonly done due to the impact on the couple themselves. Most of the time, a tandem rule results in a somewhat fractured marriage, due to the divided responsibility, of course. But, in some cases, a great affection between the two monarchs is a positive example to everyone. With so much support from the council here and your brother in Saphira, I think we stand a chance to be a love story for the ages. I would like that very much. Oh, yes, we should. Where is she? Ah, Braelyn? Braelyn, would you join us?
Of course. Is something wrong?
No, not at all. There's only... We wanted to ask, are you happy here?
Yes?
Sorry, that was abrupt. I mean that I understand the pain you've endured, the loss, the suffering, all of the work you've done, and I know that you've never really known a moment's peace and that you often miss your family. I know that nothing can ever truly restore what you've lost, but taking all that into consideration, do you think you could be happy if you had a home here forever?
I hadn't really thought about it. I've been so focused on helping to end the war and learning so much as I can. I suppose... yes? I am happy here. I'm learning so much, and I feel like I can make more of a difference here. But I don't want to be a burden. I want to earn what I have.
My love is right. You could never be a burden to us. On the contrary, we are very fond of you. Not just for what you've done, but for who you are. We've been speaking about you, and you brighten our lives. We love spending time with you, and yes, they are always talking about how much they enjoy your walks together, and I look forward to our afternoon tea every single day. We want to spend more time with you. And if you truly wish to, as you say, earn your way, then I think we have a solution that will make all three of us very happy.
And what's that?
They're right. You do not have to answer now. We do not wish to put you on the spot. As you know, it is customary for the ruling monarchs to adopt a child as their own and raise them as the heir to the throne. What would you think about becoming our daughter?
What? Me?
Yes, you.
I don't know. I would love to be part of your family so much, but I'm not a princess. And I'm already a griffin. Won't that make people angry?
You not being a princess is exactly why you're the perfect candidate. The heir to the throne should always have a common background. And you being a griffin has no bearing here, as we can no longer turn people into dragons anyway. A change in ruling magic is overdue, if I'm being honest. And if you're worried about the humans disagreeing with your magic, then you don't need to be concerned. The heir to the throne is usually turned around the age of 10, but you were 13. If anything, you're even better suited to represent them because of it. That's correct, the people already love you. I have heard much light-hearted gossip about the young lady who single-handedly united the dragons and griffins to save her own people.
But I'm far older than you were when you were adopted. How could I ever catch up and do all of this the right way?
Catch up? You have already surpassed me in many ways. You're being trained in palace etiquette, magic, history, the arts, but even before you were a student of the crown, you risked everything in an attempt to save your people. None of us would be here today if you hadn't taken a chance and planned a clandestine meeting between myself and Lady Celeste. Your bravery may very well have saved not only Zateron, but also our allies in the north. There is only one possible heir who can unite the interests of the dragons, the griffins, and the humans. Only one person who properly represents the beating heart of Zateron itself. You.
Do you really think I can do it? Serve the realm as a princess and someday as a queen?
I've seen you do far more difficult things. You will have us both to guide you, and Lady Celeste and Ambrose, and I dare say the entire council. You've charmed all of them. They all have spoken to me about your resilience, your intelligence, your well-spoken manner, and your brilliant personality. But again, this is not about what we want or what the kingdom needs. This is about you. What do you want for yourself, Braelyn? Take your time to consider whatever it is. We want to support you, even if your answer is no.
Yes!
Are you certain?
I've never been more sure of anything. Yes, yes, yes.
Come here. Oh, my heart is so full I could burst. No, I'm not asleep. Just taking in the night sky. How was your walk with Braelyn? Good. Things worked out just right, I think. I'm glad to hear she's so happy. Don't rest on your laurels just yet. We have Saphira to sort out, and we must undertake the lifelong quest of parenting. Remind me to speak to General Xylan. They've raised no less than 11 children. I'm sure they could give us a few tips here and there. I hadn't yet, no. I thought perhaps I'd let you take the lead in Saphira, as you've let me do in Zateron. Well, go on, tell me. I can tell when you're cooking something up. Share it with me. I think you're right to focus your attention on the common people. Outright war with your uncle's family doesn't seem prudent, but protecting the palace and villages nearest him does indeed. No, on the contrary, I think you should agree to meet with the neighbouring territories that have written. Weak? Of course it doesn't make you seem weak. They want an alliance. They offer different things. Crops, mines, rich forest land, all of which could benefit Saphira, and in exchange they'd have the city's trading port. They'd have buyers of goods, they'd have the academy, they'd have a direct line to Zateron for as long as we both live. Saphira and its neighbours could become one beautifully functioning kingdom. Imagine the Saphiran territories. That could come to pass under your rule. And they will lend their strength to us. You needn't worry about your uncle. I'm sure we'll be able to quell him. All right, well, suppose we don't succeed at diplomacy with him. With the gathered strength of Saphira and Zateron, how much of a threat does he actually pose to us? Exactly. So, by that logic, we're far more likely to drive him and his supporters away than to engage in warfare with them. So where would they run to if they were driven out? The wastes are called so for a reason, dearest. He and his family may live there and may survive there, but thrive? There is nothing to thrive with. Even if every one of his children bore a natural dragon, it would be only a few hundred years at most before they died off. In the wastes, they would have very little to build an army with, even if the desire for vengeance ran strong through his descendants. Perhaps they could unite some of the Hessaran tribes, but they rarely march under a banner. Yes, you're right, they may last longer than we will. And it's true, from their line, they may bear the last dragon in existence. But if that last dragon did someday return to Saphira and declare themselves the new dragon king or queen, they would be met with a world changed. A Saphira united, stronger, ready to defend its citizens against all threats. They may put up a fight, but I cannot imagine they would emerge victorious and claim the throne in the end. Not if we build in Saphira a legacy of something worth fighting for. Something that outlives us. Enough worrying, dearest. There will be plenty of time for that in days to come. For now, just join me. How long has it been since we just relaxed together like this? Of course. You know I can never stop thinking. I'm not worrying. Just pondering. Magic. And how it will change. What the Academy said about its future and how we will use it going forward. I know that we know better now. Already the different shifter clans are planning ways to ensure they don't exceed their fair share, and even if they changed a few folks outside of their own lines, they could theoretically sustain magic for generations. But if regular humans and mages are to exist, whether gifted or not, they will naturally proliferate. And as the population grows, if we continue to moderate and avoid overuse, it stands to reason that magic will naturally wane. Magic will become diluted for most people. In a way, it could be a gift, I suppose. Well, take Ambrose, for instance. He's not a mage, he doesn't possess incredible magic ability of any particular kind, but he does have the ability to generate a ball of light, to enchant a quill to take notes for him, to summon small items to himself if they're nearby and in his line of sight. Suppose that diluted even further. Instead of one person carrying all those traits, he might have 3 grandchildren, one of whom can always remember the tiniest details of any conversation, one who seems to light up a room with their presence, one who never loses anything. They always keep track of every personal item. None of those appear to be magic in action, but they are magic just the same. Or take the mages at the Academy. Perhaps one day they will not use magic to run our world, but invention. Our future witches may not be able to summon magic with a thought, the way they do now. They may have to call upon it with words to strengthen that connection. To go even further, what if there is no outward appearance of magic at all in their process, but their potions and concoctions heal and nourish the body as effectively as before? I don't see any other way. As I've said, the population only grows, generation after generation. Magic is already on the path to weakening in the individual and manifesting itself differently, spreading itself more thinly. Eventually, I don't know if gone forever is how I'd describe it. As I said, many shifter clans are already working on a plan for sustainability, so the issue would lie in the other parts of the population. Magic would be fragmented, but the pieces would still be there, wouldn't they? The essence of magic wouldn't just vanish. Oh, it would take several 100 years to get to that point, I think. Probably 1,000. Imagine, though, if there were more who dreamed like us, if they figured it out, if they combined all the fragments back together again someday. They could destroy the world. That much power could do a lot of damage. Or they could spend it all on one spectacular achievement. They could voyage through the stars if they wanted. In any case, we've given them that chance. We've given them a tomorrow so they can make the choice for themselves. Our descendants, Braelyn's descendants, will shape the world, or even the worlds beyond, as they see fit. It doesn't matter if our memory is lost to time, dearest. We can love and appreciate each other every day. And as for our memory, the gift of tomorrow is still a gift, even when tomorrow has passed. That action, that love, will echo through eternity, as will my love for you. After all, someday, someone may tell our story. Well, I should like for them to say how breathtakingly wonderful you are, and that you kissed me well and often. And I hope they would say that despite meager, desperate beginnings in a freezing cave, we built a beautiful life together. One that changed the world and changed us.